You people have, do you have some experience with SD-WAN Viptela or no? If yes, how much, how many years, and what is your expectation from the class? Let's start maybe with you, Ashish. You were really keen to join. Okay, so just few lines from which country you are and how much experience you have. Okay, and are you aware about SD-WAN Viptela or not?
Hello everyone. So this is Ashish. I'm from Delhi, India, and I have around 6 years of experience in a networking profile. And I don't have a experience on a SD-WAN, but I have overview. I have knowledge about the SD-WAN, but I have a knowledge about Meraki as a similar type of the SD-WAN.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Running up with you, Mahesh. Maybe if you can just explain from which you country you are, how much experience you have, and are you are having some experience in SD-WAN or not?
Sure, sir. Good evening, everyone. This is Mahesh. I'm from Mumbai, India. I have 10 plus year of experience in networking field. Although I never get an opportunity to work on SD-WAN, but I have, in broad understanding, little bit understanding about that, but not a far better actually.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's it about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh. Hey, Charles, how are you? So maybe can you just explain about your experience, from which country you are, and like, do you have experience in SD-WAN with Tela or not? Charles, you are on mute if you are speaking something.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, my name is Charles. I have 8 years of experience, and I want to learn more about SD-WAN. And because I have some projects in SD-WAN area.
Great, thank you. Okay, going with you, Nes. The name with Nes.
Yeah, my name is Nas Malik and I'm from UK. And I've
Hey, Nes.
been, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm from UK and I've been working in a network and security more than 10 years. I have a very good understanding about the WAN solution, different and not SD-WAN. So yeah, would like to explore more in SD-WAN, but I have a very good understanding in terms of theories, and so I never worked with SD-WAN. So yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Hanif, a short introduction about yourself, from which country you are, and do you have some experience on SD-WAN? Hanif, you are on mute if you are speaking something.
Hi, I'm from actually joining from Dubai. Okay, I have no experience with the SD-WAN. Okay, actually I've been working as a network and security engineer. I just
Okay.
noticed this invite. Actually, I'm part of the ASM training group. Actually, the FIA WAF.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Prashant Chauhan.
Hi, sir. I am from India and having 10 years of experience and some basic understanding of SD-WAN technology. So
Fine. Thank
I joined for better understanding. Yes.
Thank you, Prashant. So there is a free group for SD-WAN Versa which is going on. I hope couple of you people might be joining from there. Okay, where I am already explaining about SD-WAN, how SD-WAN came into the picture. Okay, generic SD-WAN things we talked about there. So it might be little bit similarity over here if you feel like over in the SD-WAN Versa to SD-WAN Viptela. So I hope you people are aware what is WAN, because everybody of you are having a great experience, I can see. Okay. So you are already aware about WAN. And you are aware when we have some organizations which is maybe spread out into multiple of the countries or multiple of the regions, for sure, if there is maybe in the Europe, okay, there is site one, maybe some site in a PAC region, okay, site two, and maybe some site in EMEA region again, okay, site three. If these need to be talked with each other, okay, then there should be a WAN topology in place. If you don't have WAN, you cannot interact with each other. And when I am talking about WAN, in legacy world, WAN is equivalent to MPLS because majorly companies prefer MPLS. Or they can go with the DM VPN solution or maybe some site to site. We won't go into those things. But majorly, I am saying, in earlier days, companies used to go for MPLS solution to interact with each other. But nowadays, this thing cannot be, fulfilling our requirements. And the reason why, because whole, if you just go with, some infrastructure, this site users, okay, if there are, let us say there are a couple of the site users, every site users need to interact with maybe with the data center, but along with the data center applications, some applications are residing over there in the data center, but along with data center, they also need to go on the cloud. And over the cloud, there can be maybe any cloud. Okay, I am just taking some few names like GCP or Azure, AWS, whatever, depending upon your organization to organization, like for Office 365, okay, ERP solution, or any cloud-based applications has to go from the site to the cloud. Okay, but was it possible earlier in the previous solution, or I will talk about in the legacy solution? Was it possible? No. Reason why? Because if there is something need to go into the cloud, earlier model is designed as such that if it is a site and this site user need to go to the internet, okay, let us make this as an internet cloud. This is an MPLS cloud. It has to go to the data center. From the data center, there must be some firewall designed over there. Okay, there is a connection to the internet. It can be some kind of local breakout also, but for local breakout, you should be have the firewall in site. Okay, it should be placed over the site. If it's not over the site, maybe you need to have some kind of DVO solution, maybe regional breakout, we can say. Okay, regional breakout, which can be with the help of your some of the hub site, or it can be go to the DC, and from DC the breakout can be for internet connectivity. Okay, so this whole mesh is really not working in nowadays. Okay, business is rapidly adopting SaaS based, sorry, I will say SaaS based, infrastructure, software as a service, or IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So these kind of terms or these kind of models are being adopted very well in everywhere in the industry. Okay, so because these are very common applications which are hosted on the public cloud, like I talked about Office 365 being used over the internet, right? So we need to make a balance between your company specific apps and between the third party applications which are hosted in the internet, or maybe some apps which are hosted in the internet. And for the same, for such kind of scenarios, this earlier WAN solution was causing some problem. What kind of problem? Maybe if we talk about, so if let us say this person is at the site, okay, it has to go to the DC, or maybe let us say MPLS cloud or something. Okay, And from this DC, it's going to the internet. So won't you able to see the latency? See the latency? Because packet has to travel from here to the data center to the internet. So latency is one issue. Secondly, in the DC, you need it's a single point of failure. Okay, availability is an issue. Then cost is an issue because you need to increase the bandwidth demands for upgrading your private WAN circuits, which is really very expensive. And I am sure you people are aware that deploying the MPLS solution in your own is a really very big pain. Okay, those who have worked, probably they are aware. If not, so let me tell you, when you are buying MPLS, you are buying an MPLS from a single ISP. Let us say you have a big list. I can choose BT, I can use Colt, I can use Orange, I can use AT&T or whatever. But once MPLS is deployed from any of the organization, okay, you are working with ABC company. ABC company thought that, okay, we will go for AT&T. Okay. So if you are buying AT&T MPLS and let us say in the site B, maybe for Dubai, AT&T is not there, then what? You need to wait. Wait for what? You need to have some solution in place which is named as NNI. Those who are aware, that's fine. Those who are not aware, just a terminology to connect between two ISPs. Okay, so there would be a local ISP which is working in the let us say on the remote side country. In our case, I am giving the reference of Dubai. So this should be a interconnectivity. It can be layer 3, layer 2, depending upon terminology to terminology. But yes, to pass through the data over the MPLS is really a pain so far. Any doubt to anybody? Any questions? Feel free to ask.
Sir, NNI is also an MPLS, or could be any other WAN services.
It's a network to network interface. Like usually what happens, you will purchase an internet private lease circuit. Okay, if you are interested to know more about it. So in that, from one country, let us say this is country one, okay, and this is country two. So this country two is the country where your original provider, let us say in our case AT&T, is available. But in country one, this is the local provider, and to connect in between them, we need to buy a line. Okay, we need to pay extra. So it's a very hectic thing, I will say, and deploying it and deploying it it in the place is a nightmare. It means a lot of cost and a lot of time required. Usually, a simple MPLS circuit sometimes takes 2 months to 3 months, very minimum time I am talking about. But if such situation occurs, it may take a year as well. So think with respect to the business perspective. My business is expanding. Let us say I am running an organization. My business is expanding, and in Dubai, I need to open a site. Let us say I am just selling the cars. Okay. Now, for that particular site, I need to have the connectivity, and I cannot have connectivity for a year. Why? Because MPLS is a problem. So with the adoption of public cloud, okay, because when you have very you have very limited, I will say, or application in your data center. Now more and more application are moving on the public cloud, so companies had to rethink about their WAN designs. We cannot work on the same which we are working from the decades. So organization decided to equip their remote site with the direct internet access now to offload your cloud native application directly over the internet. Okay, are you getting my point?
Yeah, just getting on. Basically, in our organization, like we have a BT, and then we have a BT Global, and we have NNI. So I'm just trying to understand. NNI is related to our organization, and BT is Global MPLS. So we have a connection between NNI to BT MPLS because we have a presence in all other country as well. So the route is coming from the global, and then okay. So that's why I'm just trying to understand this NNI concept.
Okay. Okay. So, as I told you, let us say if you have a site. So, as in solution, what we are doing? We need to deploy a internet connection so that my internet breakout can be from here, all the applications. And let us say I have an MPLS connection, which is working earlier as well for connecting to maybe my DC or whatever. Okay. Now, internet availability is another question. So if you talk about maybe if you will go on the upper positions and business, geos are talking with you directly. They will just talk. What is my SLA? I need to commit to the customer. Okay, they will just say these simple things. They don't go into the technicality. They just see the bigger picture. So if I need to provide some kind of SLA availability, okay, service level agreements. So in that case, would you think so? I can provide it as a maybe 90% or 99.99%? No. Why? Because if for some reason this connection is failed, my whole internet traffic has to go again to the DC, from DC again to the internet story, whatever I was telling you earlier, right? Now, what is the possible solution? Let's have maybe one more iNet connection. So I have one connection and now I am having two connections. So if you will see by buying such a connections is a cost thing. And as I was mentioning you cannot tell to your management that okay, I can bear such a cost. So they will say no, simply no. Why? Because you already have two connections for internet and MPLS. Why you are going for the iNet 2? So this is something you cannot extend. Where comes the SD-WAN in the picture? I will be going to talk about this. Okay, this is a problem which I am talking currently. I will be coming to the solution with respect to the SD-WAN in a moment. But I hope you people are getting the problem. Any questions so far? No question? Fine. So as I was mentioning, like couple of the applications has to go through the internet, and SD-WAN is designed to address such challenges. If you will talk about, there are a lot of challenges. Probably let me maybe not go into the challenges. Let me go into the benefits, because vice versa it will be get already completed. So let us say if you have traditional WAN infrastructure, okay, traditional WAN infrastructure where you have thousands of the routers working, thousands of the routers. You people are aware that in such infrastructure, every device need to get login individually, which means management plane is separate. Okay, every device will make like you are running OSPF onto it, or you are running BGP on the top of it, or any protocol. Okay, I'm just giving an example. So they are calculating the route. Okay, from where I need to go. Maybe I need to go over here, which is my best route, over here or over here, depending upon your source and destination. I mean to say that this guy is doing its control plane calculation, sorry, by itself. And when it is sending the data, for sure, it is doing the data plane as well. So all the planes, control plane, management plane, and data plane was segregated. Okay, it was like on the individual device, there are individual things which was working earlier. What was the problem for the same? Problem is as an whole soul, probably whole network. If I am running an organization, okay, I am a network administrator of uh, ABC organization. Okay, maybe one of you are from BT. Let us say I am handling a client of the BT. Okay, and that client is ABC. And as an BT, I am a service provider. Now, let us say if you are a service provider and you are providing whole the connectivity, WAN connectivity for ABC client, for whole soul picture, you are not very confident. Why? Somewhere it can be a non-standard design. Somewhere can be there can be some standardized design, but to do the monitoring, to do some kind of deployment on each and every device is really very, I will say, hard to maintain these things. Although you might be having some third-party tools, but again, it is really very hard to deal with such kind of situation. Now, when we are talking about SD-WAN, that okay, I need to deploy SD-WAN. How to deploy probably another question. I will be gonna come to that, but I'm just telling you about few benefits. Let us say now I am having SD-WAN. By having SD-WAN, we are decoupling these planes, which means management plane work will be done by somebody else. Okay, a single pane of glass we used to say. Then control plane will be some different guy. There is something named as orchestration plane, which I will be coming in a moment, and data plane for sure. These devices on the sites will be gonna do the data plane. So decentralized network management was having their own issues, which I was explaining you earlier. But nowadays, when I am talking about SD-WAN, SD-WAN is a whole soul is a system. Okay, it's a complete system. So when it is having a system, it means you have these benefits. Let me maybe probably make like that. So there is something named as controllers. Okay, let us say these are controllers. I am not talking about the controller now. I will be going to talk about in a moment, but not currently. Okay, let us say this is controllers. And then there are all those devices at different sites, site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4, site 5, bit like that. Sorry. So what I was saying now, management thing, one controller will take care. Control thing, one controller will take care. Orchestration thing, one controller will take care. These side devices, okay, or we can say edge devices, these edge devices are on the site which are providing the data plane connectivity. So this is your decoupling of the plane, maybe you can say. Now, it introduces a lot of benefit. First benefit, let me talk about maybe those who are already the part of uh, automation. Those are aware about this term. If not, even that's fine. I will explain for you. There is two terms named as northbound northbound API, which means you can introduce the automation on the controller as well. And from controller to the edge devices, there is southbound APIs calls which used to go. And if you need to operate or if you need to do maybe more complex, configurations, now these are very simplified using the consistent deployment and operational models. By now, any question to anybody? No? Okay. Now, I can add, multiple points over here with the respect of that, bit like we can say it, the SD-WAN improved the uptime. Why? Because manual configuration, let us say one guy in the night is doing version 1 and in day some changes happened. Maybe engineering team made a changes and created a version 2. Now, in the night, the same person came and he is not aware, the one who was working over here, because of maybe lack of knowledge transfer or what to do, that is handover. Yeah. So handover is not properly cascaded, and in the night he is again publishing the same changes version 1. So sometimes it happens, like if you have a large change need to do on all of the devices, it's a nightmare to maintain the versions. Even version control is mismatch. For such a thing, if you have maybe from the controller, you need to push it to every device. So see, the version control is achieved. And since you don't have wrong designs or misconfigurations, or you are eliminating the human errors, it means it is increasing the uptime, right? And everything is very secure. Why? Because when you are pushing the policies or pushing, maybe you are not, see, it's very hard to use box to box approach. You are not doing like that same. Okay, in your traditional large network, only few people or some people are aware, like about the analytics kind of things. Here if you see all devices, you can able to check, maybe the logs, or maybe whatever the flaps, or maybe latencies, or later on we will talk about AAR feature. So all those things comes under the picture, under the one umbrella. So that is how your Cisco SD-WAN solution comes into the, like, leading the marketplace. So far, any doubt? And when I'm talking about Cisco SD-WAN, by the way, because one of you were mentioning that I am working on Meraki. So just the people who are not aware, for them I am telling. Cisco SD-WAN has two flavors. One is Viptela. Okay, I am talking. Please excuse, sir, because I am taking WhatsApp batches, so sometimes terminology. And second is Meraki. Okay, these are two SD-WAN flavor from Cisco. For sure, this was another company which was acquired by Cisco. This was another company which was acquired by Cisco. And this solution, Meraki solution, is bit like designed for small organization or mid-sized companies, you can say. Okay, who want a simplicity and ease above everything, bit like going for the lean IT approach that we will discuss later on. But for Viptela, what we are discussing over here in today's class, this is equipped with advanced feature available, and which require a sophisticated network design architecture maybe. Okay, so this is for your large scale enterprise level network, which has a high degree of customization we need to perform. Okay, so that is how your Cisco SD-WAN solutions are. No questions? Sorry, is there any question? Any questions from anybody? Okay. If no questions, let me talk about these controllers. Okay, which we can say Cisco SD-WAN components. I am talking about different components of SD-WAN. So as I was mentioning, that Cisco SD-WAN components, maybe majorly I can divide into 4 parts. The very first part is orchestration plane. Orchestration plane. Second part is, I will be explaining about them in a moment. First, let me write down management plane. Third is control plane. And for sure, you need to send the data, which is data plane. All of those 3 are bit like, you can say, controllers. Okay, this is on your side, and this is edge device. So this edge device can be from Cisco, and it can be from Viptela, because as I told you earlier, Viptela was another device, sorry, another organization. So their devices are separate. So it is named as VH, the Viptela H, okay, and it is named as CH. iOS XE is the requirement for sure, okay, for the same. So you have two flavors at the edge, VH and CH from Viptela box. If you have Viptela device, let us say 1000K, oh sorry, 1K or 1000, we can say Viptela 1000 box or whatever box. So this is your Viptela device, VH. And the Cisco device, if you are placing like Cisco ISR, ASR, whatever, so it should be having iOS XE. It is named as CH to come into the SD-WAN fabric. I will be explaining about that, not worry. But yeah, first I need to explain about this orchestration plane and management plane functions so that you people can able to understand more about it. So as I told you, there are some controllers. Okay, the controller for orchestration plane is named as vBond. Okay, vBond is same. If I will talk about in the end, it is same with like your VH device. Okay, it is same, just with a small configuration change. And the job for this controller for the Cisco vBond is when some new device come. I will be going to talk about new device, onboarding process in a moment. But just for you guys, let us say this is a new site 130, which need to be come up. When this site need to come up, there should be some authentication mechanism which should be doing whitelisting and authentication for your control and management information. So this new device, very first, will talk with vBond. And this connection is not the permanent connection. This is a transient connection, which means for some time. It's not permanent, it's temporary. And this guy will tell the information to the new site that, okay, this is your vmanage is for your management, and this is your vsmart is for your controller. Let me write down first. vmanage for your management and vsmart for your control plane. So these four devices are come into the pictures. Any doubt to anybody in the same architecture what I am providing? Am I audible? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So I think so there is no doubt. So as I told you, orchestration plane is to make the authentication, okay, to whitelisting your VH routers at the very first time when site is coming up. Similarly, management plane is taken care by vmanage. This is your SD-WAN system. It is, you can say, a tool, okay, bit like maybe you can just understand bit like a tool where you created some kind of template, okay. So these templates will be get pushed to all of the devices. It is a GUI kind of stuff. I will be explaining you or showing you maybe in next class. Today I was not able to get to make all of these devices up. I didn't had the time. Okay, but yeah, we have this topology, and let us say this is vSmart. You can able to see that. Just right click over here, and you will be able to see that vSmart will get open. Let me show you. So if you see this, vSmart is just booting up. Okay, so we will be doing this whole lab from the scratch. Like if you see, there is controllers one side is data center, and then couple of the branch side, and we have internet connectivity and MPLS connectivity for sure. Okay, so we will be doing a lot of things. Don't worry, as in practical. Okay, and if you see, it is admin, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So if you see, this is your whole information what you can check, right? So couple of the Versa commands, but not an issue. If you see, there are system-based configuration we need to create very first time. Okay, but we will be gonna talk about that later on. I don't want to make everybody confused who don't have the proper knowledge for SD-WAN Viptela. But yeah, coming back to our topic. So as I mentioned, vManage is a tool. Okay, it's a GUI tool like a Google form. You can just take an metaphor. So in Google form, you need to fill up some information, and that will be get stored. Similarly, here we create some kind of templates. By filling out those templates, we can push this configuration to all over the VH or CH devices, or I will say edge devices. Then you can see the control plane infrastructure is handled by vSmart. Those who are aware, well and good. Those who are not aware, let me talk about the old BGP infrastructure. Let us say we have three BGP peers, and if this person is sending some information, by default, this information won't be going to the another one if we are running IBGP. Okay, why? Because that is a simple rule of BGP, right? One IBGP peer cannot share the information to another one. Okay, to avoid the loop avoidance. So the one of the alternate was RR, creating loud reflector. Here in Versa, they are using same stuff, but they are using not BGP but another protocol which is as equivalent to as BGP only, named as OMP. So similarly, for OMP, you can consider that this RR functionality is doing by vSmart. vSmart. Okay. So vSmart is the one who is acting as a brain of whole overlay fabric. Why I took the word overlay, I will be explaining in a moment. But yeah, this is the brain of the overlay fabric. Okay, so this is the one which is acting like as a round reflectors. Sorry. Any doubts so far? All these four components are clear to everybody? Okay. If yes, then as I was mentioning you that there is site 1, okay, site A, this is site B. These two sites cannot interact with each other. Let us say over here there is some VH or CH device, and somewhere there is vSmart. Okay, so these sites has to send the routes to vSmart, and these routes, as I was mentioning, will be sent by OMP update, and it can be sent to the site B or site C or anywhere. By default, it will be sent to all of the sites for sure. Okay, but routing information, if you see, is taken care by your vSmart. Okay, that is how your one site is aware about another site, and if they are aware about one about other, they can create direct tunnels as well. Okay, I am just coming to those, but don't worry as of now. But vSmart, functionality of vSmart, I hope everybody is okay and able to understand what I am telling. Right? Is there any question to anybody?
No.
Okay. Fine. So now let me talk about how controllers talk with each other. Okay, because I need to give you a couple of the information, and then probably we can say how SD-WAN works. So let me talk about. So let us say this is your whole WAN topology. WAN topology for your BT company, and you are providing this service to ABC customer. And for this ABC customer, those customer are using BT MPLS, okay, and it has multiple of the sites for sure. There is LAN infrastructure, okay, and they are interacting with each other. Now, because of the different problems, as I was mentioning you earlier, okay, this ABC customer is coming to the BT and saying, see, I wanted to go for SD-WAN. Can you provide us? Okay. So BT will say that, yes, we are dealing in Cisco Viptela. Okay. Again, metaphor I am talking about. It's not any and no concerns with the reality. I am just making a story. So it is saying, yes, we are using Cisco SD-WAN Viptela. You can go with that. And they will say that, okay, give us the plan. What is the plan? Now, plan is very simple as of theory. Practically, it's really different. But yeah, in theory, it is very simple. And how the plan happens for such kind of stuff, that for your organization, first of all, the work will be to deploy the controllers. So your controllers has to be deployed somewhere. Where? Probably I will be going to talk about that. Which controller? Your vManage, vBond, vSmart. Okay, it has to be deployed somewhere. This is point number one. Point number two, whatever your data center or maybe some large site, regional data center, whatever. Okay, that has to be become the part of your SD-WAN fabric, so that your remote sites, let us say these are your remote site which is still using MPLS, and this site need to talk with maybe data center. So there should be some connectivity from your MPLS to the data center box. Then you need to step three. Step three is you need to deploy the branches or the remote sites. So now these remote sites who are the part of SD-WAN fabric probably can interact like that. Those are not part of the SD-WAN fabric, let us say this site, then they need to go to the MPLS, from MPLS to the data center, and then maybe interacting to the SD-WAN sites. As in whole soul, I hope you people are getting an idea of the migration from legacy world to the SD-WAN world. Any issues so far, whatever I talked about over here? No? Okay, let me go ahead if no questions. Now let's talk about the very first, when I am saying deploying controllers. Now, you people should aware when we are talking about deploying the controllers, okay, there are three options. What? You can go with on-prem. Second, you can use the cloud. Third, you don't do anything, buy it from Cisco. So maybe I can say Cisco Cloud. 90% or more than that adopt this. Like they say, okay, Cisco, you do it on our behalf in your cloud. Okay, our controllers can be deployed. But generally, it is cloud based. Why? Because you need to accommodate, in case of on-prem, you need to accommodate the rack space, power, cooling, physical servers, hypervisors, virtual machines, containers, blah, blah, blah. Lot of things. Yeah. So generally, people don't go with that approach for on-prem. But yeah, if there is some use case, let us say you are running a financial institution, yeah, or maybe some kind of such institution which has a very government institution that have a very huge compliant or the regulations. In that scenarios, you cannot go with maybe cloud infrastructures. Okay, you have to do it on-prem only. So again, there are exceptions always, but I am just telling you, majorly people go with your Cisco kind of thing, Cisco cloud, Cisco hosted cloud, I can say. Okay, why? Because one thing is Cisco strategy, because you are using their product, so it is the vendor recommendation model. Cisco will take care of all provisioning of your controller. They will handle the backup. They will do the disaster recovery. And maybe you are utilizing the SD-WAN as a software as a service by using the vManage to create custom configuration template on the device, right? Over the overlay fabric, right? But yeah, you can use your public cloud as well, not an issue, like AWS, Azure, Google, or Alibaba, or whatever you talk about. So in this scenario, you need to manage it by yourself. Okay, so as a customer, uh, need to be managed. But yeah, if you are buying some professional service bit like from different ISPs, like I was talking about BT, right? Then BT will take care it on your behalf, because you are paying BT to do this job. So it can be done by yourself, but you as a company not dealing in the network, you are just offloading your work to the BT, or maybe some Orange, or maybe Colt, or whatever name you take. Okay, then those are the companies who are doing this job on your behalf. Okay, those skilled person will do it. And on prem, as I told you, is really tough, because you are responsible for backup, disaster recovery, and lot of things. But yeah, if you have such kind of high compliance, then you can go for on-prem as well. Any questions so far, guys? No? Okay. So let us say we have deployed our controllers, vBond, vSmart, vManage is deployed. Okay. When you deploy these controllers, very first time, they will establish some kind of secure connection in between them, which you should be aware of. And every device has to, go through your vBond. So you need to understand that there will be some communication will go from vBond to the other controller, and you can see couple of the tunnels in between them. Okay, when I will show you on the device, you can able to see couple of the tunnels between the vBond and vManage and vManage and vSmart. Okay, so first let me talk about this connection. These connections can be one of the two based. Either it can be TLS, which is TCP based, TCP protocol based connection, or these tunnels can be DTLS, which can be UDP based. Again, 99% people don't touch it. By default, it is DTLS, and they leave it as it is, because DTLS is also secured one, not an issue. Now, when I'm saying there are a couple of the tunnels which are creating in between them, I mean that there is, I hope you people are aware that whenever you have some device like vManage, it can have some cores, like 4 cores. It has like 3 cannot be there, 2 cores. Okay. So depending upon your cores, your connection will get established. Okay, so let us say you have 2 cores, it will establish 2 connections and bit like that. Okay, in between these as well. Everybody will try to do the connections in between one another. Okay, and this connection, I told you, it can be DTLS or it can be TLS connection among them. Depending upon different ports, generally 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 between your vSmart and vManage. Okay, here also from vSmart to vBond, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, 4, 6. A bit like it will be going with such kind of connections. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 UDP port, they will be gonna utilize. So that is how your SD-WAN fabric is getting built. First, they are just doing it, and for doing the same, you need to have some kind of certificates, which I am not talking about in today's class. Otherwise, it will be little bit deep in with respect to the technicality. But yeah, there would be some kind of authentication for whitelisting, or you can say for identifying and whitelisting. Cisco SD-WAN solution use to trust the device, use certificates. Okay, so there will be uniquely identified chassis ID and the certificate serial number. Depending upon that, one device can be the part of your SD-WAN fabric, otherwise it will not be. So it will, if you are deploying some controllers and it has valid certificate, only then your onboarding process will start. Otherwise, it will just overlook onto it and won't make a part of your SD-WAN fabric. So far, any question, guys? No.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Let us say you have all the SD-WAN controllers are in place. I am creating SD-WAN controllers over here. Okay. All the SD-WAN controllers over here are in place now. And you have a remote site. Okay. This is remote site. Now this remote site need to be part of your control. So to become the part of this controller, first thing you should have connectivity. This connectivity should be a part of from the internet, from the MPLS, from 4G or 5G, whatever. Okay, LTE or whatever you say, it doesn't matter. But there should be connectivity these controllers. Now let us say these controllers are over the cloud. Okay, if these are over the cloud, can we go directly from MPLS? Yes or no? No. Why? Because MPLS, either we need to introduce this redistribution in the MPLS cloud to make this routes available, or from MPLS it will go to the data center, as I was telling you earlier, and from data center it will go to the internet breakout. Okay, and it can go from there. So there are different ways. The controller reachability is very first thing which should be there. Okay, and if your controllers are reachable, the very first thing which will be gonna talk with your edge device will talk with is vBond. Okay, so let us say this is your remote site, and when I am talking about remote site, it means I am talking about some of the devices, edge devices, maybe VH device or CH device, whatever. So this VH CH device will try to initiate the connection through each and single transport. This is named as transport. Okay, if you have MPLS 1, MPLS 2, or maybe INET 1 or INET 2, whatever. So with each and every single connection, it will try to talk with your Viptela vBond. Okay, so vBond communication will be attempted and tried with everybody, but who will win the race? Lowest interface ID. In today class, it does not make anything, but later on I will be explaining about this point. It is really very important that lowest interface number will win the race. Okay. So what I was mentioning, that if you are going to the vBond, then it's vBond which will check that uh, either authentication should be passed or no, depending upon your root certificate, your serial number, or like that. If your root certificate and each and everything is in place, then vBond, okay, let us say this is vBond. vBond will give the information about vSmart and will give the information about vManage. It will say that, okay, this is your vSmart, this is your vManage. Once everything is done, it's available to the remote site, then it will be gonna talk about other site. Okay, that is, maybe I am just waiting for a minute. But joining process, is this clear to everybody? How this joining process happens? If there is any question, please feel free to ask. So this joining process is named as ZTP, zero touch provisioning, in Viptela case. Currently in Cisco, it is named as PNP, plug and play. But both of them are interchanging words, maybe you can say, okay, and they are doing the same work. So first, your IP reachability should be there. Then your if you are using ZTP or PNP servers, your device will try to go to the VBON directly, will get authenticated, will have the all management and control plane information, and will send it forward. Okay, so that is how your operation, your administration, and your management is getting in the picture. Okay, I hope you people are getting all of the information. There are a lot of things which we need to talk about, but that is a simple overview, I will say. Okay, but yeah, we need to create everything by our own using this lab infrastructure. If you have any doubt, any question, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, maybe we are good to go. Patrick, Charles, Prashant, Nas, any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, if no questions, we are starting this class from the next weekend. I would like to see you over there. Okay, till then, have a very great day. Take care of yourself and your family. Bye for now. We'll meet you next weekend. Bye.
Bye, sir. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.